Hello and welcome along to Canterbury Live. It is Monday. I'm Lisa and I'm still here filling in for Andrea, who will be back on Wednesday. Speaking of Andrea, we are doing the Pamper Pack competition and we have a winner. So today's winner is Eva Sprott. Congratulations, that Pamper Pack will be coming out to you. Now, the Pamper Packs have been supplied by Pure Fiji, so let's take a wee look at that. I really hope Andrea is enjoying her time away. Now, if you would like to win a Pamper Pack for yourself, you can do that. Here is a picture of the gorgeous Pamper Pack that you can win. All you need to do is call us in with today's keyword, which is relax. There it is there, looking very nice. Having a great holiday. So give us a call on 3777 033 and you will go in the draw for that Pamper Pack. Remember, when Andrea comes back on Wednesday, there will be a big prize pack that you can win. So make sure you enter to be in the draw for that one. All right, now joining me is a very special guest. I have Sean Thomas. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Now you are from the UCISA. Can you just tell me quickly what that is?
So it's the University of Canterbury Indian Students Association. We are affiliated with the University of Canterbury Students Association, so we're a club at the university.
Oh, fantastic. And how many members do you have?
We have this year around 150 members.
Gosh, that's good.
And yeah, it's been our biggest year so far.
Oh, good. Okay. Now, there is a reason that you're here, and that is because you have a show on this week. So tell me a wee bit about the show.
So the show's name is called Rose. It's a Shakespeare adaptation of Romeo and Juliet.
Wow.
So it's an Indian adaptation. And it's got, theatre and Bollywood music and fights and dances and all sorts of things. So you should definitely look forward to.
Well, you have actually given us a wee clip that we can take a look at that tells us a wee bit about it. So let's take a look at that now.
This production of Romeo and Juliet, called Rose, is quite different, an Indian take on the old Italian story. We've interpolated into it some sort of Bollywood-style dances, so it's going to be different, fresh, intercultural, quite fascinating from that perspective.
That looks great. Really, really good. Now, you're producing it, is that right?
Yes, I'm the producer for the show.
Okay, and it had the director's name on there. Can you tell me a wee bit about the director?
He's Brian Aitken. He was the former associate artistic director at the Court Theatre.
Gosh.
Yeah, and he's the president of New
How did you
Zealand
rope him in?
Well, I mean, he was actually met him 3 years ago, and he was actually doing a workshop at the Elmwood Players, theatre there, and I saw him there, and I've been in touch with him since then. So, this year I asked him, would you be keen to direct an Indian show this year? And he was like, well, it'll be different, but why not?
Took it on. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned that the play is based on cultural values of Indian society. So how does that differ to life here in Christchurch?
Well, when we first asked Brian to do the show, he was, it was very important for him to understand our background and, the values we have, the culture we have, and what really was important was to know that Brian can make sure, he directs it knowing our, cultural values and stuff, because Brian's a New Zealander. The person who wrote the play is also a New Zealander. So, everyone in it is Indian. There are a few, other New Zealanders as well. But yeah, I mean, it's quite different to realise what Brian has to offer in the play, and it was, he was quite interested in knowing more about our culture, knowing more about our background. And yeah, I mean, so the play is mainly about students, Indian students that are in Christchurch and to go to the University of Canterbury. There's two kind of groups that we've created, a crimson group and a gold group. So it's the kind of values and it's the kind of conflict that happens in New Zealand. So it's something that's carried on from India, from our ancestors in India who have settled in New Zealand.
Wow.
So it's kind of how those values and stuff for the conflict has kind of reached the students, reached the youth of our generation, and how they're kind of fighting about it.
Gosh, it sounds like it will be very interesting.
It is. There's a lot of features in it, such as these fights. So yeah, it'll be quite interesting.
All right, now I don't know if you know this, but I've actually danced and acted in a few Bollywood movies in my time.
Wow, yeah.
Now, so I know what to expect, but what can people expect to see from the Bollywood dance numbers and things that you've got in the show?
Well, what we wanted to do was not just have Bollywood songs, because India is so, it's so diverse within itself. It's a country with 29 states. And all those states have, many languages within themselves, around, 24 languages within that country. So we've taken, songs from many different industries in India. Okay. So there's a South industry that India has, and then there's a North industry, and then there's the Bollywood industry, which is also called the Indian film industry. So songs from many different kind of states that we've roped in for this play, so kind of makes it diverse within India itself, not just focusing on Bollywood. But yeah, it's very good that you acted in that. It must be big sets and
oh gosh, it was when they came to New Zealand and we travelled all around the South Island. Yeah, it was very, very interesting, and I did learn a lot from that, so that was cool. So why should people come along and see this?
Well, it's mainly about seeing the Indian adaptation of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, because I guess when Shakespeare wrote this play, he was he never would have thought that this play is so perfect for India. Yeah. We have so much diversity within India itself, and it's easy to have conflict between those. So yeah, it's our adaptation. It's our take on society, our take on different values, different concepts and themes of Romeo and Juliet. Absolutely. Which involve a lot of fights and stuff, so exactly.
Sort of covers everyone. Yeah. So when can people come and see it, and how can they get tickets?
So Thursday, Friday and Saturday this week, so it's the 17th, 18th and 19th of July. It's in the Jackman Auditorium at 7 p.m, so be there at 6:30. And you can get your tickets from Dash. It's
Dash Tickets?
Dash Tickets online.
And you're also on Facebook too, so they can check you out there.
Yes, we are. So you can like University of Canterbury Indian Students Association on Facebook.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
No worries. Pleasure.
All right, stick around after the break, because later on in the show we have the Man Cave, but next up is the traffic control.
Southern Newsweek is an Otago-based news bulletin. Produced locally in Dunedin, it's your chance to catch up on everything that's happening in the community. Southern Newsweek, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and repeated Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on CTV.
Get rid of that damaging and unsightly moss, mould and lichen from your path, drive or roof with Mossbuster. Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. Mossbuster costs less than half the price of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest. Check out our website to find the best solution to your moss, mould and grime problem. Order online or call us now on 0800 88 1000.
We all know the best thing you can do for your body is eat fresh foods in their natural state. The same applies to your skincare. Southern Skin provides a skincare range with fresh, locally sourced ingredients, plus natural preservatives and emulsifiers to produce the best nourishment for your skin to unleash your healthiest complexion. New Zealand olive and aloe skincare for young or old, men, women and children. There is a product in the Southern Skin range for you. southernskin.co.nz.
The Tiki Tour ride. Kia ora.
Hey, my name's Victoria.
And my name is Nana. Climb aboard the Tiki Tour bus and join in on all the fun.
Every Saturday at 8 here on CTV.
Ka kite. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back. It is time to check out this week's traffic update.
Now that the month of June has been completed, we know from statistics that it was the second busiest month in terms of roadworks and the proportion of the network affected that there's been since February this year. Obviously this makes it pretty challenging to get around Christchurch at the moment. Christchurch has around about 2,600 kilometres of road network, and 20% of it was affected at some time during the month of June. So more important than that, around about 40% of the strategic road network has been affected. This is routes such as the primary bus routes, the core bus routes, which carry services such as the Blue Line, primary freight routes such as Brougham Street, and primary arterials such as Blenheim Road. So that's a very large proportion of the network that's been impacted, and clearly that's going to result in some travel difficulty. That said, our monitoring shows that the transport system has continued to operate in a reasonable manner given the need to rebuild the city. So last week Sonia spoke about how not all roads are created equal. Some roads are designed to carry more traffic than others. And what that means is that there is various routes around the network which we prefer traffic users, people use, rather than others. A good example of this is Victoria Street. Victoria Street is often seen as a shortcut between Salisbury Montreal intersection and the Beeley Papanui intersection. However, at this time we are operating the transport system and the traffic signals to favour the Papanui and Beeley Ave movements. This is simply recognising the strategic function of these roads. At the same time, Montreal Street is set up to accommodate much higher traffic volumes. What this means is that we ask that travellers consider using Montreal to access Beeley and then making a choice to travel on to Papanui or such like. Victoria Street is recommended as a local access route only. Clearly there's some major delays on Victoria Street at the moment, so to avoid these delays, again, we recommend you use Montreal. Other examples of such streets are the use of Blenheim Road instead of Riccarton Road, Main North Road instead of Marshlands Road, and using the 4 Avs instead of travelling through the CBD. These streets, whilst they are congested, our monitoring shows that journey times along them is quicker than travelling along the alternatives. We certainly welcome people's feedback. How about you measure the journey times along both routes and let us know how you get on. This month's CTOC's 1 year old. We've been working hard over the last year to launch a number of new initiatives to help people move around the transport network. Examples of this is that just last week we launched a Twitter feed. There's a new account, Transport Chicha, which is what we use to publish real-time information on various parts of the network. We recommend you check it out. So lastly, whilst we're trying a number of new initiatives, we really do welcome your feedback. How is the Transport for Christchurch website working for you? How is the Twitter account working for you? Is there different information you would like to receive that we can assist with? If you'd like to get in touch, feel free to contact us via the email address tfc@tfc.govt.nz. Or you can phone us during working hours 6:30 till 6 on 941 8839. Well, that's it for this week. Remember to use both lanes when approaching a merge. It keeps the transport system moving.
Now, if you are interested in seeing Rose, Sean has very kindly left some tickets for me to give away. So we've got 2 tickets to go and see Rose, which is on this week. So if you'd like to win those, call us in on 3777 033 and say Rose, and they can be possibly all yours. We'll draw that tomorrow. So that's Rose on 3777 033. Now, Sean will be back in the Man Cave with Gordon Finn later after the break.
Tomorrow Today is your science program, presenting a comprehensive overview of the latest trends in science and research. Tomorrow Today, Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m, right here on CTV.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Are you looking for more from your local channel? CTV are online. Our latest listings, on-demand shows, program information, all on the CTV website. We'll see you there.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention.
Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Now the moment you've all been waiting for, it's Gordon Findlater with The Man Cave.
Hello and welcome along to Canterbury Live's first episode of The Man Cave. Joining me today, I have AJ, I have Adam, and down the end I have Sean. Now, The Man Cave is going to be a weekly segment here on Canterbury Live where I'll have 3 male experts joining me to discuss some of the things or the going abouts of the week, and also we'll be answering some questions that you've written into us. First of all, guys, I want to welcome you along to the inaugural episode, so congratulations. Ringers. Yeah, that works. Of course, one thing we're going to discuss today is the Football World Cup, which has just finished. Have you all been watching it?
Definitely, of course.
Parts of it, yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're watching CTV first and foremost.
But when you're not, a bit of the football. So one thing I've experienced at home is I've got a partner that's not so keen on sports. So this has led to some sort of debate around the remote in the morning. Have you guys had any similar experiences while this is going on? Or, flatmates that aren't so keen on the sport? What's the remote etiquette?
I just tend to fork out the extra $20 a month or whatever it is and just get the extra box in the bedroom. If she wants to go and watch the Kardashians, fine.
Yeah, the Kardashians.
You can watch it in the bedroom.
The Kardashians. That's the number one killer, isn't it?
I would think, though, in a flat situation, like, okay, yeah, the girlfriend's a different, set of tools altogether, but the flat situation, I would say that whatever World Cup is on at the time, whether it be rugby, football, they never clash, so whatever is on at the time, that should take Shortland Street has nothing on that. Whether you like the sport or not, Shortland Street, home and away, or World Cup, really.
But also, how many times does the World Cup come
exactly.
around? It's once every 4 years?
That's it.
Kardashians, once every 4 hours.
We can repeat that too.
Exactly.
Where do you sit on this, Sean? What's your experience been like?
The best thing you can do is kind of introduce them to Cristiano Ronaldo. Or Gerard.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Something like that. And then, hey girl, look at it.
Yeah. You've just got to turn it on when one of the, those nice tropical European countries are playing. Whether it be Spain or Portugal, the guys with the glossed up hair.
Exactly.
There's benefits in it for everybody, isn't there?
Exactly. So, good to see where we all stand on that. Now, moving on to the next part of the show. Thankfully, some of our viewers have written in. So we've got a couple of questions to get through. So our first viewer writes in, Dear Man Cave, I'm recently single and about to go on my first date. It's a first in a long time. Is it wrong to expect the guy to pay on the first date?
That's a tough
AJ,
one.
would you expect, would you pay on the first date? Would you go out there, or would you want to go halves?
The last relationship obviously wasn't that flash. If it's the first date she's been on in quite some time, but she's still recently single. What was he up to? It's probably the gentlemanly thing to do. Would be to pay, or at least offer the 50-50.
I would think you shouldn't go into it expecting him to pay. Don't judge him by it. But if he is a gentleman, as you say, you do the gentlemanly thing. You pay on the first one. Some people even pay on the first couple. But an expectation of it, that's setting yourself up for a bit of a fail, I reckon.
Sean, how would you feel if the girl on the first date was expecting you to pay? Is that okay with you?
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's as they say, a gentlemanly thing to do. First thing, pay up, and that's pretty good. Sets the bar, doesn't it?
Sets the bar. Yeah. But if she was expecting you to pay, would you not think that she was
Gold digger?
Yeah, here we go.
That's right, that's what I'm saying. Like
I
the
think, to be
expectation.
fair, you can't expect that, but I think, if you go in, maybe, you offer to go halves, and then you'll find out, he might just say, well, no, it's fine. I'll get it. And then you'll know whether, whether he thinks that's the norm or not. So I think maybe go in with the approach of, we can halve this if you like, and then he might say, he's happy to pay for it, and there you go.
There's no better feeling than when you go to pay for dinner and she says, I'll get mine. Oh. Yeah. Okay, if you insist. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think once you move on from the first few dates and you sort of, that's how I've always gone with it, is that, you then start, we'll halve things. But I think, first date etiquette, it's not unnormal for the guy to be expected to pay, is it?
No. But in saying that, she doesn't know you as much as you don't know her, and are you willing to fork out heaps of money for somebody you don't know? I guess it depends on how the date goes.
Right, we'll go to our next question. This viewer writes in, Dear Man Cave, I've been in a relationship with my fiancé for 4 years. He proposed to me 3 months ago. At first, I said maybe, and a few days later said yes, hoping that eventually I would want to marry him. It's now been 3 months and nothing's changed. How do I tell him I'm not interested in marriage, but I don't want the relationship to end?
Well, what do you want out of it?
I think it's a very good question. If you're not ready to make, it's been, 4 years? So if she's not ready to make that next step, that next commitment, but still wants to keep the relationship.
That's the cut-off limit, though, isn't it? 4 years.
What sort of motive is there for not ready to take the next step, but also want to, have the comfort of the relationship there?
Move on.
Any of you had any
Haven't we seen enough Hollywood movies about this, like dragging it out too long? Like, isn't every sappy love movie about this, though? Like, 4 years is the line, and if you really aren't going anywhere in the relationship, I mean, some people are happy to flatline. Usually it's the male more than the female, but, 4 years, that's a long time to not
And
want
quickly,
it.
just 10 seconds, Sean, your thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, if...
Just break it to him.
What does the guy want? I mean...
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I think,
that matters most.
You've got to communicate in this situation, don't you? The best thing is to communicate. Well, thank you very much, guys. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but we'll see you at the same time next week. Until then, we'll go back to Lisa.
I absolutely cannot wait until next week's Man Cave. I loved it. All right, now joining me tomorrow, we'll be checking out how Rihanna's going at the Contours Challenge, and I will have some more goodies to give away, so make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'll see you next with today's cash giveaway.